Hey guys, it was requested, so we're doing it. This is my very French inspired current makeup routine, and I want to keep this under 10 minutes, so I'm just going to talk while I do stuff. After I wash my face, I always put on this. It's Embryolisse brand, and it's cheap here in France. It's a little more expensive in the States, but it's a lotion that also acts as a primer. If I feel like I need a little more priming than just this, I also will throw on a little of this Professional. For concealer, I have this Master Conceal from Maybelline that I've used forever and ever. And if I need a little more coverage, I use this Maybelline like Superstay 24 Hour, which also works really great. This shade is a little bit too light for me, so I only use it, I use it very sparingly right now in the summer, but these are the two concealers that I use. This one's lighter, this one's heavier. Vincent's sitting right next to me, by the way. If I look over that direction, I'm looking at Vincent. So I'm going to throw on this Master Conceal underneath my eyes first. I also have having like tons of skin problems right now because my period's about to start, so I guess this is kind of like a good time to do this so that you can see what I do. I literally just put a bunch on my finger and then just go in. I use mostly my fingers for a lot of this stuff. And I only put it under my eyes. I don't like to do like a big triangle or anything like I see a lot of other people doing. It's just not my thing. I kind of just like tap it out at the edges and just like leave it as much as I can on my actual under eye. Okay, so for all my little skin issues, usually I put this on first, and then if I need more, I'll add the Superstay 24 Hour, just because that stuff is like, oh my gosh, it does not move. I also always have some like red right around my nose, so I always cover like a little bit on my nose, just sparingly. I usually don't carry makeup around with me. Like once I put on makeup in the morning, I kind of just go with it and let it like fade throughout the day, and by the end of the day I'm not wearing anything anymore. But the one time when I do bring makeup with me when I go out is when I have blemishes by my mouth, because I feel like every time I eat I have to like touch it up or I just look like gross. It's the worst like confidence buster right there. So I did the Master Conceal. Now I'm going into the 24 Hour, just right where I need it if I'm worried about it not sticking around all day. I might use a little right here. The next thing I'm going to do is NYX Studio Powder. This stuff really helps set everything, and I don't use it all over, and I don't even use it. I use this tiny brush because I only want it like right where I need it. I don't like putting it all over my face. I used to live and die by the myth that you would only put powder on top of other makeup, and I've learned really in the last year of living here that you do not need to do that. That's been like a big shift for me here in France. It's just seeing so many women wearing less makeup and seeing like what French women usually keep in their bags. I understand a lot more about like different ways to do things. The next thing that I do no matter what is bronzer. They don't have Physicians Formula here, so I had my mom send me, this is my favorite bronzer, it's just butter bronzer. I apply that with my, I need to wash this because it's like all splayed out, but it's just like an angled, kind of a smallish brush. That's what I usually put on my bronzer with. And I apply it, I don't know, pretty generously. And I used to make the mistake of putting my bronzer too low on my face, and it just made me look kind of like all over brown. So I have to put it higher than I think I do every time. So if you're never happy with how your bronzer looks, that might be why. You're just probably putting it too low or too high on your face. Like make sure you've got it in the right spot. I also always put some bronzer underneath my jaw and my chin. I do like a little bit just around, just to give some like shadow and depth to my face. Just like very lightly dust it. And I don't have any other product on this whole part of my face, so it's just like putting bronzer right on my skin a little. One other thing that I do that I started doing this year is I apply like very light bronzer on my nose and like right here on my face where the sun hits your face naturally. I do it very lightly, like lighter than I do underneath my cheekbones, but I just kind of like, I kind of have bronzer going right here, and then in like a nice W shape right here too. And that, I just really like how that looks. So the next thing that I do, I just have this trio blush from Kiko Milano. It's like a brand that's really cheap and popular here. I don't know if it's in the States or not, but I love this this blush. It looks really natural. So I just do like very light. And I do right on like the apples of my cheeks. There we go. I'm done with powder. If I feel like I overdid it or if things just aren't blending as well, sometimes I'll take this big fluffy brush and just kind of like buff everything out. And most of it, you know, I'm only wearing concealer right where I need it, so most of this is just on my skin. So my natural skin oils and my lotions are the things that are holding the powder on my face. And it actually stays pretty well. It lasts longer than you think it would. If I need a little extra, then when I use any kind of like real primer, like the Professional, then that really makes it stay. But if I'm just going out for a few hours, this is all I do. The last thing that I do for my face, which is the key in my opinion, is highlighter. But right now, I've been on a big Chic and Shine Madina highlighter stick. This stuff is awesome. It's just like a cream formula, and I just really like, I think it's a beautiful color and it's easy to use. So what I do is I just put highlighter pretty generously right there. This is where I don't have as much like blush or anything, and I just like make sure to blend it out really well so that it's not like a strip. I want it to look a lot more natural than that, just kind of dewy. I do add a little, now that I put more bronzer on my nose than I used to, and I want to mimic the effect of being very sun-kissed, I do that. And then I also take it with my finger and I put it a little on the top of my lip. That is all I do for face. From that point, I just do a little on my eye. I have like a lot of veins and stuff on my eyes, so I always try to cover them a little bit. So I just put a little. I know I'm probably breaking like all of the makeup rules by using what I use, but it just works for me. So now I'm just taking this like highlighter stick and putting a little on my eye. And sometimes if I want to wear anything more on my eyes, I try to stick with all the same color family and keep like my face looking very natural throughout. So what I'll do is I'll take some of this bronzer. I use my finger, I just rub it around, and what I do is I just put this on my eye as a little bit of eyeshadow, and I pretty much always just use my finger. Too, and that's kind of a French girl trick also. French girls are really low maintenance. You know, they just reuse their products in lots of different ways, because as long as it achieves the result that you're looking for, who cares like if you're not using it the way that it is labeled to be used for, in my opinion. We're almost done. So that's all I do for my eyes pretty much ever. I don't like wearing a lot of makeup because I wear glasses. The last thing that I do is obviously mascara. So I think I finally figured out like the eyeshadow routine that I really like, and now for mascara, my thing this year, I used to always put like a lot of mascara on the tops and bottoms. I have pretty long lashes, and I always felt like I wanted to highlight those a little more because I knew that they were like always kind of hiding behind glasses. I use like L'Oreal Lash Paradise. By the way, my bottle's like destroyed. But now that I've been here, I'm realizing that like less is more, and I actually lately have just been putting mascara on my top lid, and I really like how it kind of lifts my eyes a little bit more. And I always make sure to curl my lashes too. One trick, if you like essential oils and you use them, put a few drops of sandalwood oil in your mascara. It'll help your lashes stay really strong and healthy and grow longer, and it will also keep your mascara fresh longer. And it makes it smell better. Like my mascara always smells like a little bit, I don't know, foresty. Okay, so that's it for makeup. The last step that I think is really important that is like my ride or die step is to use Evian facial spray. I have some other brands of sprays that I really like that I can't get here. So this is what I use in France. And I just always put a lot of that on. It's almost out. I need to get more. But yeah, make sure everything's dry. And we are done. So that is my very French makeup routine. I don't feel like a cake face at all during the day. It's no big deal if you like touch your face in places because you're not moving around like multiple layers of makeup, and I just really like it. So enjoy. Let me know how it goes. Let me know if you try it. Hopefully some of these tips and tricks work for you.